Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room Recap for Monday, August the 20th. My name is Barry Enerson, moderator of your trading room. This is a email address you can use if you have any questions for me. This is a link to get into our free room. It is a 100% free room. You don't have to be a member of Trade Ideas to be in our room. I open the room at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. That's when I start to share my screen. I get live on the mic at 9:05. I go to up to 3:30 Monday to Thursday and 3 o'clock on Friday. I say up to, excuse me, because I have been shutting down a little bit earlier, around 3:15, just because it's getting a little quiet towards the end of the day. So, but certainly I think once we get back into September, it'll definitely be to 3:30. Now, I forgot to, give me 1 second here. I forgot to create a chart. 1 second. Because I did a bit of a quiet day, only because now I think you heard that they're running up. Okay, just get rid of the sound alerts from Trade Ideas. Just give me 1 minute here. Sorry about that. I probably should have just started over, but that's good enough. Okay, so here is. Let me just get the symbol linking working. Okay, so let's just take a look at what I did this morning. Now, my day was basically met or made in the pre-market. So as I'm doing my pre-market work, I usually start between, what my time, between 4 and 4:30. So at 7 to 7:30, we start getting our data at 7 o'clock. So that's when I start to do my pre-market work. And let's just take a look at the 5-minute chart, see when it really came in. Yeah, so this was actually at 8:15. I didn't have to get up at the crack of dawn, but certainly probably, well, 8:15. There's the 5-minute candle, all right? So as I'm doing my pre-market work, and by that I mean I've got my my pre-market configuration window that I scan on. I check to see which stocks are moving in the pre-market, which stocks are low floaters that are moving in the pre-market. All sorts of different ways of looking at it. So as I'm doing my pre-market work, all of a sudden I see this pop right there. So I quickly looked at the news. So when you look at the news headline, what it says is something to the effect of milestone achievement for this company, $25 billion, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I'm sure that a lot of people thought that was, and I may have been one too. I didn't delve into it because I knew this could move very quickly. Excuse me, that this was some kind of like a $25 billion order over 3 years. Well, it's not exactly that, but the bottom line is that I decided, okay, I think that headline is going to really get people's attention. Of course it did. I got into the trade at 379, and I traded out some at 482, and it popped up, and I traded out the balance right up here at 520. Pulled back. A lot of us thought maybe, just maybe, when the market opened, it could continue. Now, when I looked at this press release just a little more closely, and again, I don't profess to know all the ins and outs of it, but it appears that it's more of a financing, that they're going to be somehow raise or being able to achieve some financing at $25 billion for it's a Chinese company, for the Chinese company they're doing business with. So, and it's a crypto play. If you recall back in November, December, this was one of the ones that was crypto, and you'll see in the press release they talk about blockchain and all that. But I guess the bottom line for me though is that I think once people realize that they didn't receive a $25 billion order, though if you just really quickly look at the headline, it could be misconstrued like that. And so I think that's why, of course, it just went crazy, and now it's sort of settled back to reality. Now the other one that I almost had the not the trifecta, but the bifecta, I guess, in the pre-market. Let me get to the 15-minute. So I saw this one here. Now this was earlier. This was at 7 o'clock, okay? And so this is a bio, and I guess they sell through a company called Jerome. Jerome, that's their major pipeline, distribution pipeline. And they have basically canceled it starting in 2019. So this is obviously not good news for this company. It appears, again, without really delving into it, that was their, of course, their major pipeline of selling whatever they do. And this has been knocked in almost 60% off. I mean, there's where it closed on Friday at 1350, and it's sitting at 555 now. I feel so badly for anybody who's holding this. And I'm always amazed when I look at the daily chart. In this day and age of leaks and this and that, there was not, maybe here a little bit, but not really. There's not an inkling of that news that was going to hit Monday morning. Not a leak at all, because this has been pretty solid in this area for at least a month, and going all the way back here. So anyway, that is just devastating for that company. Anyway, I remember saying to myself while I was watching this, and I said, "Well, Barry, you can have all you want as a short right here." It was 850, 845, and I just paused. I literally paused for about I don't know, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, because probably at that point I was, no, I wasn't. I was not watching the SSC that had not popped yet, because this is 7:45, and I just paused long enough so it went from 850 down to 750, and I just didn't feel like chasing it. I mean, obviously, in retrospect, it would, you can chase it, but you don't know at that point. Could have easily just popped up again. So anyway, that was LCI. I am interested to see what happens tomorrow with it, to see whether or not the company comes out and says, okay, that's right. Now we're actively looking for another source to as a pipeline, a distribution agreement, and I'm sure that they're going to have to come up with something soon. Otherwise, the stock will continue to be devastated. And what else? Yeah, just want to take. Oh, well, okay. Let's take a look at a couple of things. This is nothing I was in, unfortunately. CGC, cannabis plays are really alive again. Of course, this is the one that really started everything in motion on this day here, this day right there, where Constellation Brands, I think it's STZ, that's the symbol name, came in, and I think they putting, I think, 4 billion, something like that, dollars. They said acquiring a lot of shares, and they're the distributor of Corona. So I guess they're just looking at this whole cannabis market and saying, okay, we've got to take advantage of this. And so this is the one that they decided to pop a whole bunch of money into. This was a recent IPO over here. This is a Canadian company. It trades on the Canadian exchange under WEED, but it did sort of an IPO in the American market on this day. And anyway, this is the pop it had on that day. Pulled back the next day. This is Friday, and now this is Monday. Now the other one, which unfortunately I still do not have, I don't have anymore. Sort of breaks my heart a little bit. If you were in the room on that day that CGC popped, you know that I was looking at another one, another cannabis play here. Think, okay, I've missed that one. What one could maybe follow suit? And so this is another IPO on that day here. I got into this one. Well, I was right there, I guess. Well, it was 2765-ish anyway. And I wrote it that day, and then up, and then I got out of it here the next day. Didn't like the way it was trading, but look at it now. Oh man, that's $8, basically $8 from where I bought it. But I just I'm a little leery. I'm not the greatest of longer term swing trades. A little leery about these markets, worrying that this sort of thing can happen. In fact, I'm wrong. I think I got it in here, and this happened, and then it yeah. Yeah, let me see. I think this was the day. I believe it was the day. Anyway, but they're hot, and I did take this one. This is a small one. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've already traded some of this out. I took this at 320. I said, okay, let's, and I traded some out at 331. Toying with the idea of swinging it. It's a small cannabis play, and had earnings last week, so I don't have to worry about that. Has some reputation, I suppose, because it already had earnings, and it popped a little bit on earnings. So anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm in at 321. I usually don't like to swing anything if I'm down, though. Excuse me, I've already taken some out at 331. This one is another one that I traded today. Yeah, it's going to probably drove me nuts a little bit, but it looks like it's not too bad now. This one came on, man, why did it come? Oh, this was on that. Now, you've heard, if you're in the room, you know I've talked about this composite index or composite custom filter that we've developed. I guess we've developed it, I don't know, a week and a half ago. If you've attended some of the other webinars, you know the guys have talked about it. You know this is a custom filter. I'm hoping that within a month or so, they will turn it into a standard filter that everybody can use. All right. So right now it's just sort of experimental. And this came on it. I got the alert for it. And I actually traded this one twice. Got into it at 49.10 on the break. 49.10. Right about here. Probably was right there. Got out of it at 49.05, and then look what it did. It dropped all the way down. That's right. It dropped all the way down. Actually, this is where I'm sorry. I got into it here at 49.10. It started making the move down. I didn't like the way it was trading, so I got out for a nickel loss. I took it again at 49.25. Right about here. I traded it out at 45 and then flat. And now it is starting to move up a little bit again. And I think if you look at the daily chart, it has a nice daily, but you know, I don't like these topping tails and bottoming tails on the 15-minute chart. Typically, that's why we use a longer term or a longer time period. They tend to smooth things out. I mean, if I saw this on a 1-minute chart, it'd be all up and down. I don't know how people trade on 1-minute charts, but you know, so this has been a little bit frothy, as I call it. I like to see a lot more smooth, but anyway, that's about it. I want to get back into the room, see if anything else is shaking, and bring back the capture program. Where are you? There you are. If I was hiding on my other monitor. All right, so if you have any questions for me, this is the email address you can use. Again, this is a free trading room. 100% free. We don't ask for a credit card or anything. Basically, when you click on that link, you'll be taken to a page. You'll create a we'll be asking you for your email, and then you'll create a password one time, and that's it. Then you can get into the room every day, and is 100% free. You don't have to be a member of Trade Ideas. This is a subscription link, so you'll see in the body of this email. Again, it's 25% off until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time tonight. So I'll open the room tomorrow at 9 o'clock sharp. 9 o'clock Eastern Time, of course, and hope everybody has a great evening, and we'll see you in the trading room tomorrow. Bye-bye.